Well, hi friends, I'm Brian Cosby. This is Prod and Protect, and today I want to share with you what I believe are the top 5 reasons that real estate investors and those that are interested in real estate investing just give up. Let's get into it. So I was looking at a couple properties today and made me realize that there are a lot of my friends and people that I know that get excited about real estate. They think through the potential, the income, what it could mean for them and for their families and even their children and their children's children, because the upside is really big, and they get excited about that. And then they may even start looking at properties or form an LLC and join Bigger Pockets and read some books, and then maybe even purchase one. Then at some point along the way, they stop. And I wonder, why is that? Well, today I want to share with you what I believe are those top 5 reasons that a potential real estate investor might not continue. And the first one is that they lose their vision, they lose their passion. Always know that it's important to feed your motivation. So if you have a desire to go and do something, you have to continually feed that motivation. That might be continually reading books and listening to podcasts and being a part of a network of other people that are also involved in real estate investing to keep feeding that desire. But ultimately, it's about what is it that you are trying to do? What is that ultimate goal, that ultimate vision? I know for a lot of real estate investors, they are thinking about their future and they want to be in a place where they have a number of rental properties that are providing them a monthly passive income. So they're not having to trade their time, which I believe is so valuable. They're not having to trade their time for money. That money is just coming in from rental properties, and you can cash flow enormous amounts from just a handful of properties. And they lose that vision, they lose that passion. And so one thing I would recommend, if you're in that place, that you're just that passion is just kind of fizzled, that you need to feed that passion. You need others in your life to encourage you. You need books that you're reading. You need to be listening to things, but going back to the basics of, why am I doing this? Do I want to continue in my 9-to-5 job and keep trading my time for money? Or can I have the freedom to go and do what I really want to do and have others provide that freedom for me through the means of real estate? So the second reason I think that many real estate investors just stop, they fail, they don't continue in their dream of owning real estate, is that they don't have a plan. They're just starting out, but there's no ultimate goal. They don't have a short-term goal. Let's say, hey, this year I want to get 5 properties or just 2 properties this year. Maybe they don't have a plan of even gaining capital and gaining money. I've been doing real estate investing for 5 years now, and I've not used one penny of my own money because I started out with a plan to get others involved in the projects. What initially maybe some banks, but it's turned to private lenders now for me, or just getting capital from flips. So maybe starting out with flips, getting some cash so that you can go put that into long-term real estate. Whatever your plan is, you need to have one. A short-term plan and maybe even a long-term plan. Say, hey, in 10 years, I want to have 50 properties, or 50 doors maybe. Whether that is single family or kind of a collection of single and multifamily. But whatever your plan is, you need to have one. You need to have something written down that you can follow, and oftentimes that you would go and you'd reference that, again, going back to number 1, that you would continue to feed that motivation, feed that passion and the vision that you have. I think the third area that I see where real estate investors and those involved in real estate, they just kind of fizzle out and don't continue, is in the area of discipline. They lack the daily discipline. I know this is a bigger subject, but having the daily routines and habits to fortify and give that foundation, that infrastructure for your vision, for your plan, you have to get somewhere every day, just a little bit. And it could be that this is what I do every night. I write down a list for the next day. Actually, I have an A list and a B list. A list items I've got to get done. B list would be great to get done, but if I don't get them, it's okay. But having some kind of infrastructure to your day, some kind of plan in your day that gives you what to do next, part of the plan, but then you have something to follow, and it creates a daily habit. And that's where the discipline comes in. You need to feed the motivation, because that feeds your discipline as well. But you need to have the daily discipline to keep going, keep going. You're going to hit roadblocks. You're going to hit times where there's extended delays on inspections and the banks and whatever else. Tenants are giving you a headache or something. There's always going to be issues. But to have the discipline to keep pressing forward, you need that discipline every day. So the fourth area that I think that real estate investors, where they end up just kind of fizzling out and not continuing in their goals and their dreams of being a real estate investor, is in the area of accountability. And again, all these things are interrelated, but they don't have some way to keep them on track. You need others in your life. This is part of the networking piece, but you need others in your life to keep pushing you and pressing you. And it could be that you just have the internal accountability where you're writing something down in your journal and saying, here are my goals, here's my plan. I'm going to be accountable to this. Actually, what I've found is that if I tell enough people verbally, if I tell enough people what my goals are, what I'm doing, it creates an internal sense of accountability to those things that I'm telling everyone else. But it could be too that you hire a coach. I have a great coach, Rocky Garza, but you might hire a coach to help you and give you that daily accountability to reach your goals. I think the fifth reason that so many real estate investors don't make it is simply fear. They're afraid of failing. They're afraid of just not making it, so they don't do anything. I think it's probably where a lot of people are. I've actually heard from a number of people where they're like, I just, pulling the trigger on a $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 property at one time starting out, that's just so much money. How can I do that? If you never join, if you never play, you're not going to win. And there are risks to it, no doubt. There are plenty of risks to it. And this is where you need to inform yourself, educate yourself. You need to run the numbers. You need to know what ROI is. You need to know what ARV. You need to know these terms and be able to run numbers and look at things objectively for an area. You need to know, just educate yourself on the area, your target area where you want to invest. But when you put all these things together and it basically is coming to you, a property is coming to you and just checks the boxes, then you can jump in and do it. You need to have a team in place, of course. You don't want to just buy a property, again, with no plan. So you need to have a team. You need to have your contractors. You need to have people that you can borrow from, or if you have the capital, that you have the money available to purchase a property. You need to have all those things in place before you do it, but you still need to pull the trigger. And there's something exciting about it. There can be something just routine about it too, where you're just seeing, hey, I really have no emotional attachment, no emotional excitement here. I'm just following the numbers, and they work, they fit. There's enough margin here that if I go over budget on my rehab costs, that it's still going to work out. Whatever it is that's causing that fear in your life, if it's that fear of failure, or if you're just really tight, then educate yourself. Maybe it could be that you just take the next year or two and just learn, become a real estate licensed realtor. I am, and it's been really helpful, just as far as networking and getting to know people and learning the industry. But once you have that knowledge gives you confidence. But you still need to just do it to start. You can analyze properties to death. And at some point, you have to actually pull the trigger and do it. And then I think that once you get into it and you start getting the first few properties in, then you start to see the pros, the cons, the difficulties, the rewards of doing it. And then I think you'll start to see that vision come to a reality in your life. And that's what I'm really excited about for you. If you're thinking about getting into real estate investing, this is a wonderful channel, a wonderful means, not only to create extra yearly income, or really good at yearly income, but also a long-term vision to build up not just a business, but a life of freedom. Well, thanks so much for joining me today. If you've not already done so, please consider hitting that like button and also subscribing to the channel. I really appreciate you and your support. We'll see you in the next video.